What's up, everybody? It's your boy Reggie Casual, and as you can see, we have a bit of a new setup here. We're going to be doing reviews from this point on, at least on Mondays, right? So what we wanted to do was create a show or create some type of template where you guys are gonna get videos every week. So we came up with this idea of doing reviews, fashion reviews, brand reviews, and pretty much anything that has to do with fashion reviews. And since last week, at the time of the making of this video, was Tokyo Fashion Week, what better way to start off this review type show with some outfits from Tokyo Fashion Week. But before we get into this review, let me go ahead and give a big shout out to my friend Kentaro Takahara, who provided the photos for these reviews. So go ahead and check him out on Instagram. His name should be popping up, his account. You can go ahead and check out some of his photography, and hopefully we'll work with Kentaro a little bit more as the coming months go on. But let's go ahead and get into these outfits from Tokyo Fashion Week that I think you might enjoy. So let's get it. All right, so our first outfit review comes in a duo. You gotta do two at a time. So it's gonna be a little bit longer of a review than usual, I guess, because we're gonna cover both of these outfits. So on the male side, this gentleman right here, we see a Givenchy sighting. That is a Givenchy hat. I'm not sure if you know that. That's one of those hats, you know, the caps with the horns in it, but it really goes along with the entirety of the theme of this outfit. You see some punk undertones there. As a whole, I think that this kind of gets the job done, and it's right in line with Japanese street fashion. So is this something that you might see out on the street on a day-to-day basis? I would say in kind of the higher end areas of Omotesando and Minami Aoyama, you may see it. You probably won't see something like this on the streets of Harajuku. Harajuku is a little bit more DIY, secondhand vintage. This just showcases Japan's love affair with all things punk. It's really that translation of punk lifestyle that was burgeoning in those late 70s, early 80s periods. So it's not the lifestyle, just to make that clear. But obviously there's undertones of that in here. The all black is something that you'll see a lot in Japan. But one of the things that I really love about this is the use of accent colors, the satchel bag that he has on, and that's definitely going with the outfit to create a little bit of color, a little bit of semblance of color. And it's red, so you know how red has all these other connotations that go along with it. So you got the horns, you got the hat, you got the shirt that has this nice little texture on it, this textured pattern on it. You have that bag to kind of highlight the entire theme of the outfit. We also have the shorts, the thigh length shorts, which is really popular, not only in Japan, but also in Europe as well. You see a lot of runways doing a lot of summer, spring runways, summer runways rather, that did this in their collection. So this is par for the course. And this is another thing that I'd want to mention is that we talk a lot about how Japanese street fashion takes a lot from America, but that's really street wear, right? That's street wear. But when we're talking about street fashion, pretty much all of it comes from Europe, and more specifically comes from Belgian design. Talk a little bit about that later too. So you'll see that as you continue to look at Japanese fashion. Those pinstripe socks really set the tone. Reminds me of Beetlejuice. I love them, going all the way up nearly to the knee, coupled with those square-toed strap boots. For me, I think it's solid, right? It's a solid outfit. It's not, could be viewed as not as interesting, but as far as all the pieces going together and hitting the theme the way it's supposed to, I think it does a pretty good job of doing that. Secondly, we have the lady, who I think has the better outfit of the two as far as being a little bit more ambitious and more Tokyo Fashion Week-esque. This is not something that you would see every day on the streets of Japan. That being said, it's a phenomenal take. As you can see, we have that wraparound rose, the black rose action. Talk a little bit about that later. I love the accents on the sheer sleeves where we have the colored roses, the red roses, also having kind of like that same wraparound pattern. You know, that's one thing that I love about it, the oversized beret. I love the tulle skirting. Also, the shoes. The shoes are the square-toed platforms. Those are something that you see in Japanese schoolgirl uniform. Most of the school uniforms in Japan are direct influences from European school uniforms. It's actually really interesting how Japan will utilize those elements in, contemporary and designer fashion as far as the looks are concerned. But going back to these black roses that kind of adorn across the outfit. So that what she's wearing under is something that's incredibly contemporary, something that you would probably see anywhere. However, when you put those roses on there, it makes it a little bit more interesting. It makes it more like an art piece. Just notice it a little bit. It's not just that the roses are randomly placed on the dress. It has this wraparound twisting effect that I'm really intrigued by. It reminds me of the work of Kei Ninomiya and of course Rei Kawakubo, who are part of that Comme des Garçons school of thought. Now, I'm not sure if this is Comme des Garçons. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it is from that school of thought. And I love it. Also the chain that connects it. So it looks like it might be wrapping all around her, but that's really the illusion. I'm pretty sure the back of that is just the flat dress. It's just in the front. I love everything about this outfit, just mainly because of all of the techniques that are used within it. I love the chance that's taken here, especially with Tokyo Fashion Week. You want to put something out there that's kind of like this. And let's not forget that this is a pair look. These two are almost certainly wearing this together. If they're a couple, and you'll see a lot of this, you'll see like these couple looks, different takes with different elements. You see the red in the bag for the guy, but then she's wearing the red roses on the sleeve with the roses that adorn across, the black roses, and still maintaining the silhouettes that they want to maintain and also the color palette that they want to maintain. So I think that it's wonderful, both of them doing a great job, a great display, especially as a couple, as a unit. It's phenomenal. The tulle skirting, it's really good. This next one is amazing. I love this one. It doesn't seem as ambitious as the very first pair look that we saw, but its subtleties and nuance are just amazing. So the very first thing that we should notice, in lieu of regular sleeves, we have these tulle kind of skirting sleeves, which I think are wonderful, mainly because of that nice accented multicolored shirt she has on. That really sets the tone. And this is just a lesson in you don't have to always go completely black when you wanna, if you're a person that wears a lot of black, like myself. I wear a lot of black. And one thing that Japan has taught me is that sometimes you can just accent it with a color, and she's certainly doing it masterfully here. One of the great things about it is that she's using a blue, and blue obviously is a little bit darker. It goes with black a little bit better, especially if it's just creating these nice little highlights. But we also have this red and orange peeking out. We got a little bit of green in there, but we got this red and orange peeking out, almost as if we go from her glasses, these polarized, oversized glasses, to her lip color, which is this nice bright red, it's really crimson red, to the shirt, which has these oranges and purples and reds, and it just goes into that blue, which highlights the black a little bit. So this is a very thoughtful outfit. And I love this look, but I love this look the most, not just because we have this nice little upper piece, but just the use of texture, using the different types of fabric to showcase different contrasts without using different colors. But the highlight piece for this is not the pieces, because the pieces are great. It's that choker, which isn't a choker at all. That's a belt. Puts it around her neck, lets it drape across that V line of her outer jacket. And it's a wonderful, wonderful accent. That's one thing that I love about this. That big buckle almost hitting her chin, accessorizing without using, some gaudy accessory. I mean, you can see where the influences are from. It creates more layers, right? It creates more movement. And this is something that the Japanese are really, really good at, is just creating movement with pieces that you otherwise wouldn't have thought. And just really thinking about what else can I do with these pieces that are normal, not just these fantastic designer pieces. What can I do with normal pieces to make them stand out a little bit more? Taking what's already there and reimagining it. And this is exactly what's happening here. That belt on the neck, that is probably the highlight of this. It really sets the tone and puts this outfit all together. I'm in love with this outfit. This is more highbrow. This is in the areas like Omotesando, Minami Aoyama, Aoyama. You might see this. It's not street ready, right? I don't think everybody can pull it off, but she certainly does. This next one is my favorite, one of my favorites out of this bunch that we're doing. Not just because of the color, I really am a big fan of like teal, bluish colors. You might have noticed just some of the colors, that accent colors that we use over here. I just love that color. But I don't like it because of the color. I like it because it's so much in line with Japanese street fashion. Again, I have to be very, very particular about when I say that. It's not street wear that we're talking about. We're talking about Japanese street fashion. And a little bit of lesson on that. Japanese street fashion is not simply borrowing from the US and just taking these styles like we see in streetwear. It's taking luxury and implementing it in such a way, making them, palatable for everyday wear. And this right here does that in more ways than one. So first, we got that oversized outer coat, outer jacket, which is a drop sleeve. Drop sleeve is risky because it's gonna look oversized all the time, but because we're wearing that nice slim sheer shirt on the inner, it makes it less sloppy. I know a lot of people, when they look at oversized clothing, kind of look at it as, they'll say like, oh, it's kind of like homeless wear. It's not, it doesn't have any shape. But be that as it may, Japan and some of the styles here, they'll take silhouette to the extremes. Like, we're gonna go skinny on the inside and we're gonna make this outer, which is a little bit oversized, giving me more shape. And then of course, we got those wonderful, wonderful layered pants. This is a reversal, right? This is a reversal of fortune. Normally we'd be layering that top, giving more layers to the top, but we need those pants to be shown. That shirt gives it a little bit more context because it's a midriff. Whatever you might think about this, you may be like, I would never wear something like that. It's a little bit too, let's just be real. A lot of people are like, it's a little bit too feminine for me. I don't think so. I think that this individual wanted to showcase the pants and use that shirt as, a different hue to create more contrast within the textures and the layering. Also using his skin color as a contrast section to separate his torso from his legs. And then those layered pants to give it even more layers. So he's using his skin, he's using the shirt, the skin, and the double layered pants as a point of styling, which I think is phenomenal. I think it's just one of the most phenomenal things that you could see. And the reason why I love this outfit so much is not just because the use of texture, the use of hues, the use of color, but it's because you would see it out on the street. Maybe not at this extreme. This is a Tokyo Fashion Week outfit, but as far as the silhouette is concerned, this is normal. I see this almost every day. If I go out on the streets, doesn't matter, Harajuku, Minami Aoyama, Omotesando, whatever, I see this almost all the time, at least a form of this. I personally would wear something like this in the same line as like, I probably wouldn't use the same color. I probably use black, but using a little bit more influence, I definitely use some textures within those black. I maybe use some of those highlights, those accent colors to create a little bit more dynamic in the outfit. This right here is something that you can learn from, this outfit right here, because I think it's palatable. I think it's approachable. I think anybody could pull it off. And I don't think it's so out of sight that you might be like, I'm not really into that. Maybe some people, but it's expertly done. Kudos to this dude. Awesome. Our second to last outfit is almost certainly my favorite outfit. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the denim jacket. Has a little bit of a DIY element. We've cropped it. You have this layering effect, this straight down, almost blocking effect, right? When we think about color blocking, this is basically what's happening. You have a clear blocking effect where you got that nice denim blue jacket with these black leather pants. Black leather shorts rather. I'm not sure if those are faux leather or real leather. Doesn't matter, it works. But what's really interesting about this denim jacket is that it's a drop shoulder jacket. It's a little bit oversized, but because that denim jacket goes almost perfectly at the shoulders, the length of the arms, it sells the inner shirt being a typical, button down with a black tie. The glasses, the shorts, it all seamlessly goes together. And what's crazy about it, if you took that jacket off, the outfit would still be a banger. So it's a luxe look with a casual feel, which means that it doesn't look like you're going out of your way to be overdressed. This is phenomenal to me, right? I love this take. I love it for the textures. I love it for the tailoring. I love it for the chances, but mostly I love it because you could wear it. But anybody would be able to pull this off if they were thoughtful about it. But this took some time, right? I can almost tell you that this person is almost very likely a model, right? So they knew exactly what they were doing when they put this together. And the reason why I can say that is because look at that shoulder line. Those shoulders are straight. So this outfit really fits this individual. I have some qualms about the shoes, about the sneaker choice. However, I'm not mad at it. It throws it off a little bit for me, but as far as the look in its entirety, it's a beautiful thing to see. Our very last photo is of Nick Wooster. I'm not sure if you know who Nick Wooster is, but he's this independent fashion consultant. He's worked with Bergdorf Goodman, he's worked with Barney's New York. What's really cool about Nick Wooster is he stands at 168 centimeters tall, which is around, I think it's like 5'6"-ish, right? And I stand at around 5'8"-ish, right? So I've always been a big fan of Nick Wooster because of that, right there. I've actually met Nick Wooster. I was in New York a couple of years back, and I forgot what store I was in, and he came in and they were showing him some fashion. I was like, oh, you're Nick Wooster. He's like, hey, how you doing? We talked a little bit about, styling and things like that. And Nick Wooster, he's an older gentleman, but he's really good at street style. And he's known to say, he said in an interview that Tokyo is the mecca for dudes who are vertically challenged, who aren't that tall. And I have to 100% agree with him. But this outfit by Nick Wooster, I decided to put him last, mainly because he's pulling it off. I mean, it's right in line with Tokyo. This is something that you would see on the streets of Tokyo. This is the use of texture, the use of layering, the use of, draping and fabric, the use of making the luxe into something casual, the designer into something casual. So we have designer elements. We have, the jacket that's a cutoff, and then we have the sleeves that are creating these layers at the sleeves. We have the shorts where I think it's looking like the same material as the upper, and then the shoes that kind of just sell the whole idea. This is one-on-one an outfit that I would wear. Everything about it. Not 100%. This is Reggie's style, right? There's some things that I probably would change, but not much. Just concentrating on silhouette, texture, and also, accessorizing a little bit and not being afraid. So if you're an older person and you think that you can't pull off some of these, look at Nick Wooster, right? He's a great example of a dude. I think he's like 60 something years old now. And he's still killing it. Definitely at home. People, they love him here in Japan. He has a lot of great friends here in Japan. And comes here, before COVID, he'd come here like 3 or 4 times a year. So he's all about it. So there it is right there. Last on the list, Nick Wooster. So congratulations, Nick. If you're watching, thank you so much for your influence. And hopefully we'll talk soon. I can get you on the show. Those are just a sample of some of the photos that Kentaro Takahara sent us. So again, big shout out to him. Check out his Instagram page. He's doing great work, and hopefully we can work with him again very, very soon. So hopefully you like this format, because we're gonna be doing a lot more of it, and you'll be seeing some more outfits and some more looks from Japan. With all that, we're not gonna just be doing looks and fashion. If you have a brand that's well done in development and you want it showcased on this review show that we haven't named yet, maybe you can help us out with the name of it. If you have a brand, something that you're working on, please send it to us at our email that we've provided, some here, right there. If you have some looks that you want to showcase, if you're a photographer that does fashion, you want some of your photography showcased on the channel as well, please send it in to us. We'll give you a contract. We'll show all the things that you want us to show. But keep in mind, if you want us to review a brand or a style or a photographer, we want them to be independent. We want to put more onus on independent designers, photographers, and creators. We don't want people sending us things like, hey, can you review the new Supreme collection or new Bape or Neighborhood or something? No, that's not what this is about. So if you are an independent designer, or if you know of an independent designer that should be showcased, please send them to us at our email address, and we'll look and see if they warrant being reviewed. They have to be pretty good. So even if you have a label, make sure that it's presented well. We might do some funny ones that are bad too. I'm not sure. However, if you want to know how all this works in a more business format, you want some insight, some direction, some lessons on how to build your own brand, all you have to do is join us on Patreon at patreon.com/TheCasual, and you get access to our private Discord filled with individuals who are starting their own brands, their own movements, their own collections, as well as giving advice and constructive criticism to any and everybody who seeks it. We also have a monthly fashion business webinar where I give you all the P's and Q's and A to Z on how to build your own brand using my skills as a consultant for fashion brands for so many years, putting that knowledge to good use. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is join us on Patreon. But most importantly, keep it locked here for all of your info in international fashion culture and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Also, question, how many of these outfits do you like? Tell us some of your opinions on what you liked in here. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, yeah, whatever. Let us know. That's always good information. Even if it's a bad review, we'd like to hear it. Just don't be mean about it. All right, yeah, I can't stop that. Anyway, see you guys in a minute. Deuces.